One of the ways that you can build essential questions, in addition to those three that I just went over, is you can build them around student misconceptions. Okay? These are young students. They don't know everything, right? They don't necessarily have the nuance or sophistication that their teachers have. So essential questions could be generated by misconceptions that students have about abstract or complicated ideas. So you could take these misunderstandings and turn them into fruitful essential questions for the unit. They can be used as a form of pre-assessment or diagnostic as well. So let's try this. This is a very simple activity. We'll try this again to see if it works. So I'm going to ask you to write it in the chat. This may be a bit easier than the last topic. That one might have been too difficult for the time constraints, but why don't we try this? I'm going to give you the misconception, and then I will give you a chance to write in the chat to take that misconception and write an essential question from that misconception. So we'll see how this works. So here's the first one, and I will pause to give you a moment to think and to put it in the chat. So here we go. This might be a misconception that students might bring to the classroom. If it's written in the newspaper or in a book, it must be true. The information must be true. Can you turn that misconception into a broad, essential question that you could pose to your students to get them interested in a topic like this around the validity of information? Go ahead and write that in the chat right now. What makes information true? I see one. Is the media infallible? Absolutely. These are great. How do you check the reliability of sources? These are great. What are the sources of fake news? Love it. What is the difference between facts and opinions? How do you know the authenticity of the sources? What types of media sources are reliable? Why do you think the information is always true? The source might be a scam. That's fantastic. I love these answers. So let's look at what Grant Wiggins and Jay McTighe came up with. These aren't mine, these are theirs. So let me go ahead and show you. Yeah, there's one, but I heard a whole bunch of other ones in the chat that are just as good. How do we know what to believe or who to trust in the information that we consume? It's a great question based on a misconception, a misconceived notion on the part of young students, maybe adults as well. Okay, so it's broad, it's open-ended. Think about all the ways that that question could be answered. Okay, so let's do one more because this is so much fun. Here we go. Either you are born with artistic talent or you're not. Unless you have natural talent, there's nothing you can do about it. I've heard this all the time. Artists are born great. They have some gift from God. They're just born with these qualities. This is probably a misconception. How might you turn that into essential questions for students? Can skills be learned or acquired? Well, who controls your destiny? That's interesting. What is your goal? How do you achieve it? Can talent be polished with learning? Wow, I love this one. What is talent? That's a great essential question. Love that answer. How can you turn a weakness into a strength? Oh, great. Can anyone be an artist? That is an essential question. Absolutely. How can you discover and nurture your hidden talent? So these are fantastic, right? Here's what Grant Wiggins and Jay McTighe came up with, and you'll see the similarities between what's in the chat. What makes a good artist? How can we improve artistic performances? So we saw both of these, not written in the exact same way, but there's more than one way to do it. And we saw that represented by you in the chat.